Okay, we're going to do this problem in Excel in two different ways. So a company handles an apartment building with 70 units, and we want to know what the maximum revenue will be. So we need to know how many apartments there will be, and then what the rent is, and then I can multiply those together to get the revenue. So first, if there are 70 apartments, the rent is $15.40, but one person moves out, so 69 apartments. If the rent goes up by $35. So do this plus 35. And then if I copy this down, nope, see it went up. So I have to do, it's going to be 68, 67, 66. And the rent keeps going up by 35K. Now, the problem that I have here is that if I were to change this and make it 65, see, nothing happens to the rent. So there's no connection between the apartment number and the rent that would be charged. But what I could do is I could insert a chart and get a scatter plot. Let me make this a little bit bigger. See, that is the point. 70, 69. Nope, it's going in the wrong direction. When there's only two data points, it's easy for Excel to get it mixed up. So let me right click and select the data and switch the rows and columns. There, now I have, see the X's are color coded correctly, and so is that. So I can put in a trendline equation, do more options, and it defaulted to a line, which is perfect. Display the equation on the chart. Negative 35x plus 3990. Okay, so that means that if I had 68 apartments, X is the number of apartments, then the line connecting them would be negative 35 times the number of apartments plus 3990. And the difference between those two should be the rent going up by $35 again. Okay, so now if I put in more data here and I copied this equation down, and then let me just copy this down. If I put in 63, it should update to $35 more than the previous. So now I have a connection between those two. Then revenue will be apartments times rent. Copy that down. And now I could take one of these rows and use it to do the solver because I have a connection amongst these three columns. So let me pull up the solver and find the maximum, set my revenue to a maximum by changing the number of apartments, and solve. 57 apartments, 1995 rent. Okay. They want to know what rent should be charged, 1995. And then just a quick check, is that less than the 2100? Yes. Okay, that's the solver solution. And to use the solver, you have to have a connection among all three columns so that if you change one value, the other two values will update. Okay, so let's try this again. Now, this is the quick and dirty approach. This is 70, 69, and the apartments are going to go down by 1. I'll drag that down a ways. And then for the rent starts at $15.40, and it goes up by $35, and I can drag that down. And then revenue is apartments times rent, and copy that down. And now with this highlighted, I could just pull up conditional formatting and ask it to highlight top 10, but only give me the top 1. And there's the maximum rent, and it happens 57 units, $19.95 for the rent.